Recording.
1, 2, 3. That should be good.
Okay. All right. Hello, people.
Hey
This
there.
is Untitled and Unfocused.
I'm
I am
unfocused.
Tyler,
Oh.
and I am... You really? Otherwise known as Rayman. And, yeah. How you doing, Ray? How you doing today?
We're doing good. We're doing good.
That's great. Glad to hear it.
Try to bring the energy.
And, that's awesome. Today, Ray, we got... You hate to see it when it happens. We got, what's the word I'm looking for?
The sleeper week?
No. But yes, but no. We got bamboozled by one of our shows this week.
Is it Show Nana?
Yeah. It was like 96% recap. What are we doing?
Well,
You know?
we can just talk about it now. Nana. That's
Recap.
it.
Yeah,
That's all there is. No.
I mean, there was like a couple additional scenes.
To
but
fluff
they weren't
it.
anything.
Fluffs it good.
Yeah,
It ties it a bit better
crazy.
with the characters we've seen before.
Yeah. I mean, it was fine, right? I mean, this definitely cements our theory from last week, where we're hoping that like going forward we're gonna get some new stuff. So them showing it again is them being like, okay, we're back
moving
in present
forward.
time.
It's kind of okay. So like, they hit you with the. This is where characters kind of do stuff and meet. Then they're like, let's see how they got there, and then like, okay, we're gonna recap them there now.
Mm-hmm.
And then now we're gonna go and we're actually gonna see how they got there again. And then we're gonna recap how they're there. And then they're back there, and then we're gonna recap how they got there. That's just Nana. It's just gonna loop these 6 episodes.
I swear to God, if next week is like episode 2, I'm gonna lose my mind.
What if it's episode 2, but then it also expands about those characters that no other characters? So then we're seeing like more lines connect.
We just watched the same show like 8 times over, but each iteration is like slightly more detailed.
Yeah,
Be insane.
that's my next idea for an anime.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, it's like a psychological show.
It's basically going to be Higurashi, where they loop the same amount of times, but instead of different things happening, it's the same thing happening over and over again.
Have you I don't remember if this is something that we've done together. Do you ever watch I'm pretty sure it is. You ever watch the or listen to the John Mulaney clip of the Salt and Pepper Diner?
I think that's something we listen to individually, but never together. But
Never
I do
together.
know exactly.
Okay, yeah. So for anyone out there, please go listen to it. It's probably his most famous joke, I think.
It's a pretty good one.
Yeah. But that's kind of what your idea reminded me of just like the like producers being like, how many times can we play the same 6 episodes over and over again before like someone raises the question of like, hey, hold on a second, what's going on here? And then we give them a little taste with like a secret 7th episode, and they're like, oh, finally, and then we just hit them again with the beginning.
That's our 13 episode season right there.
Yeah. But yeah, that's, again, everyone go listen to it. That's kind of what John Mulaney talks about in his joke. He's like doing something over and over again. But yeah, I still do like the episode. I don't like that it's a recap, but the episode itself
Me
is good.
learning he's in Puss in Boots from a VTuber clip, insane. Now I have to watch the new Puss in Boots. I was already gonna want to watch it. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen it yet though.
Do you know what character he is?
Yeah, I know what character. I don't know what the character does. You heard of that one before? This is the pie eating one. He kisses girls and eats the pies.
Okay. But like, what does
That's
he do?
who's supposed to be, right? That's like his character. It's like the fairy. It's like the short fairy tale though. It's like, I forget the one name. Like he kisses girls and eats the pies or whatever. That's like his character trait, right?
Yeah, the very classic.
It's one fairy tale. I don't know the name off the top of my head because it's been a while since I've heard it.
Yeah, I
But
don't
if I
know. I
look
don't
up the character
remember.
in Puss in Boots, like I'll find like Puss in Boots Last Wish.
It's a pretty good
Wikipedia.
gig though. Just get to eat pies.
Then it's gonna be little Jack Horner sat in the corner eating his Christmas pie. So I'm like, who's the one that kisses, dude? This one pull out a what a good boy am I? Who's the kisser one? Nursery rhyme kiss. No, not this. Georgie Porgy. It's Georgie Porgy. He kissed the girls and made them cry. I'm just mixing them up, dude.
Oh no.
I was mixing them up.
It started off so happy and now it's sad.
Georgie, it's because like Georgie Porgy putting in pie kissed the girls and made them cry. When the girls came out to play, Georgie Porgy ran away. I thought it was that one. No, he's little Jack Horner. I also heard of this one though, where he's like sat in the corner eating from the pie, put his thumb, put up on me, what a good boy am I. I've read that one in Mother Goose before.
Mm-hmm.
I've had it read to me as well. So I guess he's big now. It's Big Jack Horner. I just know he's kind of fat in the movie. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it.
That is his trait.
But his head's still pretty small.
That's unfortunate.
He's got that kingpin in him.
Yes.
Big kingpin energy. So that's not.
Place further in the universe. I like this one. I like that we're starting to travel. We're not quite on the ship yet, but we have left Japan.
This is good for banter. This episode's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, with the whole traveling thing, with them, new stuff, and the big conflict with Hinata losing her passport, or I feel like maybe her passport was stolen.
Is the actual answer. No, she forgot she gave the passport to Shirase, and then she forgot she had the passport. Classic conundrum. What you gonna do about it?
Could they have just
If everyone just searched their possessions,
yeah, I know,
it would have solved the problem. That wasn't the case. Because you believe it's just you.
I feel like I would have done that though. Like, even if I felt like I was 100% sure I didn't have it, just to be sure, just to, cover all our bases.
You would have searched everything, right?
Yeah. Because, I mean, a passport's pretty important. Like, I don't know if you lost, like, a shirt or something. It's like, okay.
Like, that's fine. But the passport? To be fair, she's kind of freaking out. She's like, yeah, you got your passport, right? She's like, yeah. Yeah, we all did. Yeah. Good one.
Yeah, like the one question where she was like, hey, do you have your passport? And she was like, oh yeah, I keep it right here in my bag. And she's like, yeah, so do I. It's like, this weird questions.
So, I'm just asking. I'm just checking on you to make sure you're good. I'm good. Are you good?
Like, she was hoping that someone else also lost theirs to have, like, solidarity. So I don't understand.
Okay, on the plane, Shirase was watching the penguin documentary and she was crying.
Yeah.
Still my favorite part is the penguin.
Just waves of emotions.
Shirase and penguins, name a better pair.
Dude, I can't wait till they actually see penguins in Antarctica.
She's gonna die.
That is episode 13.
She came to Antarctica to actually commit suicide by a penguin.
Oh no. That's traumatic, because how's that penguin gonna feel? How's the penguin gonna be able to face its family when it has to go back and realize that it was the cause of a death?
You've seen Happy Feet, right?
I have. I've also seen Happy
Feet
Feet too.
It's gonna be nothing like that.
Oh, okay. Did you know Robin Williams was in that movie?
Yeah, actually, I did know that one.
He voiced the Penguin.
The older one.
Yeah, it's like the like shaman penguin.
Mhm.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Was Elijah Wood the young one?
Um, was he just like the main character?
I think so.
Who made
This is
Happy
like
Feet? Was that DreamWorks?
it's like a real. Yeah, Elijah Wood is Mumble.
That doesn't answer if they were the main character or.
Yeah, Mumble's the main character.
Okay, gotcha.
Hugh Jackman's in this movie. Nicole Kidman. Hugo Weaving. This is a stack. Steve Irwin.
Oh, that's cool.
This is a stack cast. You appreciate this.
Wait, like the Steve Irwin?
The Steve Irwin.
How? What? When was that movie made?
2006.
Okay. You know what's funny? There's no proof at all, but in my head I was thinking 2006.
It's pretty good.
There's no way for me to prove that, but I was thinking '06.
Happy Feet 2 has the cast is back in Happy Feet 2.
Oh, that's a good get.
Brad
Yeah, I
Pitt's
don't.
in this one. Matt Damon. Wait, hold up. Sophia Vergara. The cast is just. Oh man.
Guys, we gotta get in this movie. I can't imagine that either. I mean, the first movie had to do well for them to make a second one.
The thing is, okay, like Robin Williams is 4 characters in the first movie.
Of course he is.
He is Ramon, Cletus, Loveless, and the narrator. And in the third one,
Aren't they all part of the same group?
yeah,
Like they roll together. So he plays. So like, multiple characters is fun, but you play an entire
This-
gang of characters where they like talk to each other.
yeah.
That is ridiculous.
Brad Pitt and Matt Damon are both the Krills. They're 2 Krills, who I guess kind of just gang together.
Those are 2 actors that I feel like just show up in things. Like random things. They just decide to be in them.
I mean, I'm gonna say it again. I thought Brad Pitt was overrated until I started watching more Brad Pitt movies, and now I'm like, he's good.
What are some highlights?
Of Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
So I mean, I pulled the filmography.
Have you seen Bullet Train?
I've not seen Bullet Train yet. I'm still that's on the list.
Yeah, that one looks good. It looks like a more comedic John Wick.
That's all I need. That was Nobody, but then you hate Nobody.
Nobody was not as good. I feel like, I don't know. Not as good. It was fine.
Like, Nobody was okay, and that's okay. It's okay to be okay.
I mean, because I feel like that was trying to almost like parody John Wick, but then it also took itself too seriously to be a parody, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
this is a weird tone. I don't like it.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was pretty good. I can say that.
Okay.
He had the best cameo in Deadpool 2.
Sure. Yep. He was the like invisible guy, right?
So good. We're gonna pay Brad Pitt to be in this movie, but he's not gonna show his face.
Yeah.
What was it here? He was in Fury. Fury's good.
Next
12 Years a Slave. Obviously, Happy Feet 2. You know, strong movie.
His magnum opus.
Moneyball. Oh, yeah.
Never seen that. Yeah. that was
Mega
good too.
Man as Metro Man. Come on.
Okay, I feel like we're not.
Megamind is pretty good. Megamind?
Oh, Megamind. Okay.
Not Mega Man. Megamind.
I think Mega Man. I was like, he's in a game.
Megamind, yeah. Metro Man's pretty good, dude.
Megamind is vastly underrated.
It's too good. Again, another stacked cast if you look at it and analyze like who's in this movie. Again, like Will Ferrell, Brad Pitt, Tina Fey, Jonah Hill, David Cross, J.K. Simmons, Ben Stiller, Tom McGrath, Forgive you. But they were in what in the world? They had mocap, or was Will Ferrell dressed up in costume for this? You can't show me this image. I'm gonna send it this in here. This is. Can't send me this picture of him at Comic-Con and expect me to like not look at that. Come on. Inglourious Bastards. I never watched Benjamin Button, but you know I've heard it was good. Oceans, 11, 12, 13. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? Troy. People say Mr. and Mrs. Smith is okay. Sinbad, as the titular Sinbad. Being John Malkovich, Fight Club, 7, 12 Monkeys, Interview with the Vampire. Yeah, he's good. I haven't seen that one either, but I'm like, we got names out here. These are movies. But Happy Feet.
Yeah.
Suicide by Happy Feet. So then it's Sad Feet.
The worst kind.
Because, the guy can't sing. Mumble can't sing, so that's why he's named Mumble. So he just tap dances.
Yeah. I don't know how the movie ends.
It ends with him tap dancing and he gets a mate. That's how the first one ends. The second one, I can't tell you what happens in that one.
Couldn't tell you. They probably have a kid, I would imagine.
The kid is the main character now in that one.
Yeah. And they can't sing or dance, so they're basically worthless.
So he just dies.
We get to eat him by like a orca or something.
Like the first 5 minutes of the movie, and the other 85 minutes is them coping with the loss of.
It's like, oh man,
It got kind of real.
How did this get greenlit? How did this get so far in production?
I would have greenlit that. That would have been. This movie teaches laws, kids. Some of y'all haven't seen Bridge of Terabithia, and it shows.
Couldn't they have just sold the expensive tickets back and gotten the cheap ones again?
That's true.
Because like she was stressing over it, spent all of her money getting the expensive ones because they thought they'd have to stay on track.
She literally dropped the $1 million yen and was like, "We're doing this."
Crazy. I would have just been like, "Hey, so sorry about that."
I like that.
But can we trade?
None of them like durian, dude. And then they're like, "That's your punishment. You eat durian."
Yeah, because they both put them through so much.
Then they got the food at the restaurant, and it was just servings they didn't expect the sizes for to be insane.
Huge servings.
And they ate everything. You could tell. They're not.
I mean, you have to. You can't waste food. You paid for it. I feel like they could have just gotten like a to-go box, right?
That's
like
normal.
A to-go bucket.
Well, it depends on what restaurant you go into, though. But the fancier restaurant you go into, the less likely they have to go.
Sure. They weren't at a fancy restaurant, though. Fancy restaurants don't give huge portions like that.
They also don't serve like just children in general.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, if they're dressed like that, no. It can't be too fancy.
And they were like, "We got ice cream." It's like, how are you still eating?
It's the addictive, dude. It's that teenage energy where you can eat everything no matter what.
Yeah, it just
Then
burns
you
real
lose it
quick.
once you
Yeah, that's true. Um, yeah. I think that was a fitting punishment though. But now like they're ready, right?
Yeah, they're good. Everything's all good.
Going to Antarctica. We're gonna do it. Back half of the season. It's gonna be their actual endeavor, right?
hmm This episode was nice. It was like the micro problem and how do you solve it as a team.
Mm. Right, yeah. Where there's still comfort, there's still like
Yeah.
what's the word? I don't know. Comfort, I guess.
There's no
Familiar.
real danger here. Yeah, no real. Yeah,
Right.
no real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just like dealing with each other, right? Because even
Mhm.
when I don't know the one girl's name, the actress,
Mhm.
she didn't like that she had to sleep with Mari because Mari's just like restless and
Her moving Mari just for Mari to move back instantly.
she's looking like I'm gonna kill her. One of us is not making out of this room.
It's not me.
Yeah, right.
We just the episode just cut with her and a pillow in hand, like hovering over her face, and then the door opens and another two walk in.
He said, "Well, I already killed one. What's two more?" But yeah. I like that's how you put it, where it's like they problem solving with each other, and now they're gonna be able to really test it out when they're in Antarctica, the frozen tundra,
For real problems.
right?
Expedition problems.
And it's gonna be cool to see because we didn't have like multiple episodes on it, but we did see a little bit of them like training and like learning like the like basics of what they're supposed to do. So it'd be cool to kind of see that in action for real.
Should be good.
Yeah, so that was good. Next we got Iron-Blooded Orphans, episode 6. Yeah, I feel like this was sort of in a similar vein to A Place for the Universe. I feel like it was kind of more of like the team coming together, a lot more of an acceptance with Kudelia.
Nice chill episode. Again, another chill one.
Yeah.
So like, takeaway is that they're trying to contact Jupiter for the Mafia for protection.
Right. Because you can't do this alone.
So now we're dealing with the Mafia, as always.
Yeah. It always circles around every story.
Can't wait for the Penguin Mafia to come in.
Oh my god. There's gonna be some deals to be had. One of them's not going back to Japan. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Because I think we talked about last time where it's like, what other problems are they going to run into before they actually get to Earth? And I feel like it'd be something like this, because like we don't know if they're actually going to like get any allies, right? Like, because like they don't really have anyone at this point, because you figure they staged a coup, so like all the people that were in authority with their previous group is gone. So that's them kind of I definitely think there is some like desperation in their group to be like, okay, we need a connection somewhere. Because we can't just skip planets like this. And then even with like what Kudelia is trying to do with getting peace, all that good stuff. I don't know
It's a
how
very
successful
innocent
they
thing
can
to
be.
say, but we don't know the exact political spectrum. They did show a little bit more of that. There was a lot of world building they just shoved in here.
Yeah, with like the like blocks, and like who owns
Economic
what.
blocks, yeah.
Yeah, which is cool. Classic Gundam, right? Gundam always gets into like the politics stuff. Yeah, I was waiting. I remember there was a line, and I was waiting for it to be, because up until this point, one thing with Kudelia's character, and then also bouncing off of Mikazuki, is the whole like, almost like pity. It's like, oh well, I want to be on your level, but you're clearly below me, and everyone here knows it. right? It's like, oh, I want to change that, I want to get the peace and all that. The, there was a line where she was like summing up what she's trying to do, and get like freedom or whatever for the Martians, and then Mikazuki was like, oh, so you want to do this just to make us happy? And then she said yes, and I was waiting for
And
that to
he didn't
be.
really look that happy to that one.
Yeah, I was waiting for that to be like some sort of teaching moment where it's like, oh, this is the reason. Like, there's no like that's your answer. It's like such a weird answer. Because you imagine that's not why. That's the sole reason why she's doing this.
Mm-hmm.
But for her to just kind of cave and be like, oh yeah, it's to make you happy. It's very, very odd. And yeah, I like that we got to a little bit of Orga and like how he feels his perception is from Mikazuki.
Yeah, he has to appear strong. That's like his thing.
Yeah, that like, again, like classic relationship, right? But it is like he has to be like the strong one, the leader. He has to succeed because he says like, oh, everywhere I go, I always feel like he's watching me with those eyes. And we've seen it almost every episode, right? Where Mikazuki is given a problem and he's just like, oh, well Orga will take care of it. Orga will tell me what to do, and we can bang it out. It's like that.
They're
That
both
kind of
anchored
pressure.
on each other. It's really bad, actually.
Yeah, they're very much dependent on each other. Yeah,
Like Orga needs Mikazuki to hit for his impossibilities, but then Mikazuki relies on Orga for everything he needs as well.
Yeah, for like any sense of direction, because Mikazuki doesn't have any. He just kind of eats food and chills.
It's really pointing the Orga death flag is gonna happen.
Yeah.
Or even the Orga failure is gonna happen, where he can't do it.
It has to, right? It'll probably happen on Earth, I would imagine. Once they get there, be something big that happens. And then the episode ends with one of the presidents signaling in, and he's like, "Hey, give me my ship back." and you thieves. And so that's
it's like,
very.
We didn't steal this. There was a contract.
Yeah. But I mean, they don't care, right? Again, that kind of comes back to what that one guy said about like adults versus kids. Adults are scary or whatever. And so that's what we're talking about. The whole alliance. It's like they need someone to kind of back them, or else there's always going to be everyone trying to take advantage of them.
So this was a nice calm again before like another problem.
Yeah. I mean, it sets up next episode very nicely.
Episode has a big lack of biscuit. Only get the one biscuit scene with Orga.
Right.
Big lack of biscuit. Big biscuit lack.
Does that bring down the episode for you?
A little bit. I'm a big biscuit fanboy. He's probably going to be the best character by the end of this entire show.
Oh, you think so? You want to make an official prediction?
Guaranteed, Biscuit's the best.
Oh man, that is a Rayman guarantee.
This is including season 2.
Oh, okay.
Like Biscuit is ride or die, boy.
We'll see what happens.
He's like the Armin for this group, except better.
Okay.
Because he actually takes initiative.
Sure.
Because Armin's stump-fucked like 90% of the time. This is post like season 1 or whatever. I feel like Armin's always like indecisive.
That's true.
He needs a push every time before he can actually do something.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Like he's almost there. Like he's like 90% there, and then like, oh, the push is there. Okay, I'm good. I made the choice.
What about him in what's Anne? Is that her name?
Annie?
Annie. There we go. What about him and her on the ship? I feel like he was pretty decisive in like his feelings in that
No, no,
scene.
he got that under control.
Yeah.
Yeah. I give Armin credit when I give him credit.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
like he like fighting the colossal titan. I mean, he knew it was a death he was going into, but you gotta give him credit on that one. That was pretty good.
Yeah, he went for it.
Like he can make the choice when he wants to make the choice, but most time he's just like, what should I do? But it's also like a plot point to control him though. Like you don't, his Armin's too good.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just the way he's set up. Yeah.
But like he's too good, so you have to give him that character trait so stuff can actually happen in the story. Because otherwise Armin can solve problems like easily. He just didn't care.
Mm-hmm. You see that? I think next season is when the next part comes out.
We're getting that movie. Is it the movie or like the special episode length?
It's a special. Listen, man. I can't tell you what it is because it has like 17
I heard you're
qualifiers
in
on it.
Mappa.
Weapon?
I heard you're in Mappa, so like you can give the secret sauce.
My dad works at Mappa. He said, "Please help. we're animating 19 shows for next season. I haven't seen the sun in a month."
Every week they let us out into they let us change our monitor to like a field of grass so we can see the outside world for an hour, and then we change it back.
Yeah.
That's dystopian.
But it's true though. I mean, come on.
It can't be a field of grass all the time. It's too much.
You just have like a little patch of grass on their desk.
To touch grass.
You gotta touch grass. Next we got summertime rendering, which I thought was very good.
This episode gives us a nice other perspective to look at.
Right. Yep, we got Hizuru's perspective on everything, pretty much up until this point in the show, right? The first 5 episodes. We still, maybe I'm wrong, but we still
it's just
don't
after
know.
the funeral.
What are you talking about over there?
It's just after the funeral. It's still the first day.
Oh yeah, but like,
Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, we've obviously gone back in time a few times from like Shinpei's perspective, because it ends with her being like, "This is not the first time you've lived this day," and he's like, "Whoa."
He has tears in his eyes. He's like, you know. He's like, you know.
You're my friend.
He's like, yeah, finally.
Which is interesting because it's like, I don't know. It's nice. Again, we talked about this too, where it's, everyone he talks to just immediately like accepts what's going on.
She kind of has a reason to, though. Like, that's what she does.
Sure, but like,
everyone else has no
this
idea.
This is now the time travel that she's accepted. I feel like everyone accepted the shadow stuff to be like, okay, I get it. But like, she was like, "You're a time traveler," and he's like, "Yes, I am."
The thing's like, she knows about the shadows. Like, so she probably has like some experience with whatever happened last time. Maybe it was with her. Like, she's here
Yeah,
investigating, right?
I guess so. I feel like we still don't know what her occupation is. I would like to think she's part of some like detective unit. Right.
Big Japanese equivalent to CIA that specifically works on supernatural forces.
Yeah. The SIA. And yeah. She is experienced though. I do like the little moments here and there where she's figuring out who's a shadow.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. Love that touch.
Her in the bathroom with the sledgehammer.
Yeah.
She was ready.
At first I thought they were gonna like fake us out because she hit the shadow with the sledgehammer, nothing happened. I was like, oh, he's real. And then his face caved in. We're like, oh, he's a shadow. We got him.
She's good, dude. She's good.
Yeah.
From the moment she got off the boat, she's ready. She's like, this guy, shadow. This guy, not a shadow. That
Hmm.
Shinpei, possibly. Don't answer that question yet. We're moving forward with our objective. She's zoned in, dude.
But then I like how that sledgehammer scene was mirrored with the what's his name, Genjiro, the Genjiro scene where he also tests Shinpei's shadow, and snipes the shadow, and nothing happens. It's like, okay, he's real now. I can talk to him. So that was cool. Like one person succeeding, one person failing. I guess failing in a good way, but that was cool. And was he the same person that Shinpei and Mio talked to in like episode 1 and like learned all the shadow stuff from? That, like, he like told the story to them, or was that a different old man?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh no, maybe not. Probably not.
Maybe. Yeah. That's pretty
I
much
like
it.
that
Yeah.
the fan service scenes came in clutch this time because it was specifically the white panties and not the striped blue and white
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah. All that gratuitous non-Christian finally came into play, where it was like, well, I figured out the timeline based on the color. It's like, oh, okay. You're really piecing stuff together.
That means he memorized them though. So I don't
He
know.
did. Committed them to memory. He's like, and I will just save that.
He's
for
like, these
later.
are important things I will remember for later.
Yeah. He's got like the like cork board with like the string and the pins and stuff. He's like, what does it mean?
Just the pin is like striped blue panties, and he's like, what is the importance of this?
The idea of him
Like,
having
there's
the
no
cork
string
board,
for it,
but
like for like 3 episodes, and then now he puts the string on it.
Yes. It all makes
All
sense.
according to plan. I knew this was important.
They called me crazy. Little did they know. Yeah. No, I thought it was good. I think that this is this show, I think we scale a little differently than a couple of the other ones because this is 2 cores, right? So you have to remember that. So like right now, instead of being halfway, we're about a quarter of the way through.
Yeah.
And I feel like that pacing fits where we are in the story. I feel like they're now settling down.
It has ramped quite a bit though. Like they, again, whenever they drop stuff, they drop a lot. Like,
right.
Not afraid to just like, here's everything that we know so far, or here's like a big thing that's going to change how you think about the story.
And so I feel like now they're probably gonna, I don't know, they might like exchange more information, because I feel like Hizuru has a lot. I think Shinpei could definitely benefit from maybe try to figure out more of like what's going on, how to stop him, all that stuff. Like come up with a plan of some sort, figuring out who's a shadow.
I'm ready for just another info dump episode. This was a nice one because it wasn't a real like a pure info dump episode. It was a nice other perspective and like understanding a bit more
Right.
from another side.
Yeah. I mean, I was a little wary at the beginning because I was like, at first I was afraid that they were just going to give us the other perspective, and it'd be like almost a recap episode. So I wasn't excited for that, but like the way they did it, I thought was very good.
And like we get to see like the characters that she knows, and like obviously we know that she hasn't been here forever, so like it's nice to see like, especially her character is just kind of funny the way she interacts with other people.
Mm-hmm.
It's like with her friend, she's like, I don't like you like because you're like this.
Right.
That was a pretty funny scene.
Yeah. Although in that same like little slot, I liked how angry she got at the Shadow family for like faking the
she's
emotions.
like you guys are impersonating these guys. Like you guys are blatantly
she was
here.
so mad. She's like, oh, you how dare you? And I was like, oh, that's so good. So good for her to react that way.
Like so she already enters the island knowing there's shadows on there.
Yeah.
That's insane. So like, it obviously goes deeper than what we know. So
Yeah,
excited
I mean,
to
because you
watch
imagine
them.
it's, because you mentioned it, you imagine it's connected to that other case. It was like 14 years ago.
Mhm.
Like that was probably something similar. Like maybe there was shadows. Maybe there's been shadows on the island before,
Mhm.
and they were like they left or they were able to defeat them somehow. And so now it's like, oh, she's using her experience, which explains something you said, right? Where it's like her being found with the shadow stuff makes sense. Maybe even time travel. Maybe she's experienced something like that before with her
Maybe
previous
it wasn't her.
case.
Maybe it was like someone she knew, but then she knows that like that's how it works.
Yeah,
Hmm.
right. Yeah, something. Because yeah, I mean,
She's
like
got that.
her like coming here and being ready. It's like okay, she's dealt with all this before. Nothing seems to surprise her, which I think is what we need because right now our main character Shinpei is the opposite of that, which is nice because that's kind of where we are as audience members of not knowing anything. But it is nice to have like experienced.
Yeah,
Uh,
she's gonna be the mentor he needs, and when she dies, it's gonna, you know.
mhm, yeah. Um. Next is Nana, but we already talked about that. Recap, all that good stuff. Next is the Rakugo show. Um,
This is what you were waiting for.
um, I don't know.
Rakugo, I kind of just go with the flow. So this was it's the small step of progress needed.
I feel like this is a show for me where I don't know if there's ever going to be a moment that gets me like out of my seat. I'm
It's
not saying that's a bad
enjoyable,
thing.
right? Like, you watch it and you're like, yep, this is nice.
Yeah, yeah, where it's like I don't think that's what this is going for. I mean, it could, and if it does, that'd be great. Um, but yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just hard for me to gauge this versus our other ones for like with like Megalo Box or something like that's a sports anime, so that like inherently has those moments, um, or even like certain emotions of other shows that we have. Yeah, the show's very unique, and it's
Maybe the
like
death would do it when we get to that part.
maybe, yeah,
It's good at pulling the emotional strings whenever it wanted to. Like the whole, again, like seeing the World War II, like go off,
hmm
like the perspective from there, that was pretty good. We got like a nice emotional tie there. So I think they could probably pull something off again.
I mean, I did like the beginning of this episode where we saw some of like young Bond
Mhm.
and just some more of his struggles, right? Because we saw younger him at the beginning of the show, but now I've seen like really younger him and like him like training to be a like geisha, and that obviously not working out, and then we see everyone like talking about him, um, because he's a boy and also because of his limp. And so I feel like that just adds more layers to the character. Like stuff we could have already inferred, but for us to
Mhm.
actually see it, it's like, oh no, like it just makes you want him to win even more. And then
Yeah, he's the underdog visibly.
and then for that to never have stopped, like even now he's doing well, right? Like last episode was a big episode for him, very successful in this like, it wasn't Rakugo, but it was a performance. He's like on top of the world, or at least if that was me, I would feel like really good right now.
He
But
killed
then
me.
for yeah,
Mhm.
but then for him to still like a significant portion of this episode was still dedicated to him being like, ah man, Shin is just so good. And it's like, dude, just like be happy with your own success.
We get this nice pivot towards the end, though. Like, obviously, his performance, we see how much it's elevated now.
hmm That was a question I had for you because I feel like maybe it went over my head. Did they? Am I supposed to understand why he was better in this episode?
Well, it's a combination of things. So we have him hanging out with his girlfriend, which is helping him get this idea of what a woman is in his mind.
Sure.
So how he was talking to like Genroku like a couple episodes ago, he was like, "You don't under." He's like, "Your women are all like," because that's all you ever meet. It's like you never meet
Right.
someone like refined and ladylike.
Mm.
It's like, so he's got
Gotcha.
this like, he's got this like he's got this honed in. Okay, he's like, it's like boom, built. So then he does the play, right? He does this refined lady, but then he also can show like at the end he kind of shows like a bit of his true self there, how he really feels when he gets to reveal that he's a man in the
Mm-hmm.
play. It's like he kind of get, it's a big confidence boost because then like he owned it, and he's like, yeah, no, this is what it is though. So we get to see a little bit of elevation from this now, because now he's understanding that the Rakugo or his performance is for the audience. He was always performing it because it made him feel good. It made him feel. When he listens to Sukeroku, he thinks like, this is a good story for me to listen to. He's not thinking. It was a selfish look of how it was doing. He wasn't performing for others necessarily.
Mm.
He was just kind of mimicking it for others.
Gotcha.
Now he knows he can change stuff or elevate certain things to better fit an audience.
Okay. Yeah, I like that because I feel like he said to himself for a while that, oh, this is like, I can do my own Rakugo, right? Like I feel like he said that, even Shin said that, but I feel like this is the first episode or the first performance in which he actually does it. And like, because I don't know, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, it's easier said than done, right? So like, everyone might have these things that they tell themselves, but then when you're actually able to do that thing that you tell yourself, it's like, oh, it's been fulfilled, right? So like in this episode, he's finally able to embody his own Rakugo, whereas before he was just kind of trying to tell himself that he can do it or he will eventually be able to do that. But this episode he finally did, and it's like, oh, this is what it feels like. This is probably how Shin feels, because Shin has been able to do this a lot earlier than I have, because he has his own style that no one else can do, really. So now I do too, and it's great.
You got it, dude.
Yeah.
We get to see that change. It's a nice one. It's coming up him now.
About halfway through the show too, so I feel like that was maybe like a journey for the first 6 episodes, and now we have these last 6. Probably a lot of pain and suffering, I imagine, because that's normally what stories do, right? Someone wins and it's like choppy at the knees. Right?
Yeah. We'll probably get like the next episode is probably going to be like more him elevating what he's doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe some girlfriend troubles. Who knows?
You ever did you have field day at school?
Yeah, man, I've had field day.
Did you have that one event where you had to bring water between 2 buckets with a cup, but the cup had a hole in it? You like pick up water from a cup in a bucket, run it over another one, and then you'd like compete against other teams, and whoever
we never
filled it up
relayed
enough. Never I thought about that because I was thinking about it in this sense, where I was thinking like, oh, Bon is killing it, right? And now, like you just predicted, next episode he might just get even better and better, because now he's finally like, he's like, cut the bottom off the cup, like the water's finally falling out, and once the water falls out, it's just gonna keep falling. So like he's finally unlocked that part of himself, and I could just keep steamrolling basically. Because now he's figured it out. He can see the code, right?
The thing is, like, this is gonna be crazy too, because like he's already seen Rakugo that he likes to watch, so now he's gonna like view Rakugo differently. Now this is gonna be an open experience, not for just what he performs, but he sees in other performances.
Mm-hmm.
He may look at like Sukeroku or and be like, it's actually incredible what he's doing again. He may become even more infatuated with what he's already seen.
Which is something I love seeing, because I feel like even in real life, I mean, that happens with all of us, right? With like stuff that we really like, and we like it so much that we research it, really get into it, and then you can look at other stuff in such a new light, right? Like in the most simplest of terms, it's like, someone who plays baseball is going to be able to appreciate pro level baseball play more than just a fan, right? Because they do it, so they know, oh wow, no, like you don't understand, that's not just cool, like his stats or whatever, that the whatever, it's not just cool, like you don't understand the work that he's putting in to do what he's doing on that level. That's kind of what Bond is doing now, right? Like you're saying, like now that he really, the first time in his life, he actually understands what Rakugo is. He's gonna be able to learn so much from these performances, and instead of, like you said earlier, instead of just copying them, trying to regurgitate them. Now he can really understand like the fine details of the like legends performances, and that will add to him just getting way better, way quicker. It's like, oh, I can do that.
It's like, I can do something similar to this. I can like do this, do a little bend here. Like, oh, I can change it like this. He like play this up more and like quiet this part down of the story. Like he's starting to understand that these stories are his own to tell.
Right. Yeah, and I like that. That does kind of play into something that Shin told him last episode, where he said, "No, you don't understand. These people are here to see you. Like when you go out there, you have the whole audience in your hand." And I feel like in that moment, Bond didn't understand what he meant, but now he does. These are his stories. They're here to see him. He can craft them in whatever way he wants to like fit his style, and just go off.
It's a true thing he's saying. Like, there's all these Rakugo performers. Why would you see one specifically? They're all telling the same stories.
Right. And this is why, because it's like no. Like the performance, the story is the same, but the performance vastly different from each other. So that's yeah. I mean that's cool. That is the thing with like creating stuff. It's like at a point you don't want to see the stuff. You want to see the creator. You want to see the person who makes the thing more than you even care about the product. And so that's kind of what's shifting, I think.
The gears are turning. We'll see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's good stuff.
And then lastly, we got Megalo box, NOMAD.
I think it's the fan favorite.
Yeah. The fan favorite. I'm a fan.
I'm a favorite.
Oh man. We have switched the dynamic.
Just another episode of Nomad, dude. We're back in the depression arc.
Yeah, there's a lot of sad stuff, a lot more backstory on like what happened.
We get to see the ending of the entire arc with forget his name, Pops. I'm gonna call him right now. We get to see the Nanbu. See the end of his arc.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean it's sad. Obviously, we're fans from the first season, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like we like his character from the first season, and then for us to, I mean, obviously he's been dead this whole time, but for us to actually see it, see how it went down. He went into critical condition during Joe's match, which is very fitting. I like how they added more layers to their their friction with Joe, where up until this point we've understood that the kids have hated Joe because Joe left them. Joe like skipped out on them. The
Not
Pops.
True.
yeah. Pops died and he was just like, all right, I'm out. I can't deal with it, whatever. But now we learn that he was trying to be with them the whole time, but Sacho was like, get out of here. Get out of here. Never show your face here again.
He's not gonna say no to Sacho either.
Right. Yeah. So what do you think about their like rationalization of it? Where at the end he revealed that and they were like, yeah, but that's worse. If he really loved us, then even if one of us told him to leave, he would have stayed.
No. he,
No.
he believes wholeheartedly that he was making the situation worse by being there.
You, you think that they're just saying that because,
It's cope. Yeah, they're coping.
yeah,
They're trying to
because
rationalize now what they've done.
exactly, right. Because if that's true, then they have to look at themselves and be like, oh, maybe we could have reached out. But, the reason we didn't is because we just believed that Joe left us. But he actually didn't leave us. Sacho pushed him out. So now they don't want to look in the mirror, right? I would guess that next episode is going to be them reconciling in some way.
Sacho's still gonna be bitter, but I expect that to happen.
I feel like Sacho. I would predict that Sacho was going to be the one to bring them together, because just from like a writing perspective, I feel like they didn't have to have that moment where Sacho reveals that, hey guys, I'm actually the one that pushed him out. So I feel like him more than anyone else is gonna, his soft spot's gonna be revealed before any of them. And then again, I don't think he's gonna like run after Joe and be like, Joe, wait, I made a mistake. Like, it's definitely not gonna be something like that.
I was 10.
Yeah, I was a kid.
When I said leave, I meant come back in like a week or two.
I was a kid. Kids don't really understand time, Like, you say a week, they don't really know what that means. But yeah. Yeah. I mean, I predict it's gonna be him. It's gonna be him that kind of brings them together. I don't know in what context, because I mean, I don't even know where Joe's going after this. Like, wasn't this his destination?
He's just gonna go back to the gym again. He's not gonna leave.
But like, the gym is like relatively close to where they are, isn't it?
Yeah, but then, like, he's not really meeting them though. He's just gonna stay there. No one's at the gym.
Sure.
Sachi already told him leave and don't come back, and he's still at the gym. He's just chilling.
Okay. Do you
fixed matches again, dude?
I wonder if it was like more mental than anything else why he lost that match now. Because this episode did a really good job of like cutting back and forth between the match in the past and the match in the present. How much they were the same thing. The one in the past made sense, right? Because they kept saying, "Oh, he took a year and a half off." It's like that. I mean, it doesn't matter how good you are.
Like in that one as well, like he's also focused on too much. He's trying to ignore the pain.
Right.
Like his mind's not fully committed to the fight.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like he wasn't all the way there. But then with this one, I feel like even physically, he's at a much more recent stint.
At least we know this one's fixed. I don't know if he could have won this one, but I mean, he went in gearless.
That's true. That is true. I don't know. I think he did the right thing. I think him getting the deed back for them, because they weren't going to get it back. We know this for a fact. Like there was no way. Like Sacho is not a good boxer, and I don't think that, I don't know, that would have been
They're not going to pay off anything to get that deed.
Yeah, and then even some like other stuff that Sacho would have to do to like make it up to like criminals. I wouldn't want that to go down either. I don't know. I mean, I get what the kids are saying, where they're like, "Oh, you just come back and try to win us back." I don't really think that's what Joe was trying to do, though. I don't think he was trying to be like, "Oh, here's your deed. Everyone love me again."
He just did it because he heard that like Sacho was gonna go on the fight, and he knows Sacho will fight for the deed.
Yeah. So listen, if you remember, Joe was about to destroy this man until he realized it was Sacho, and then let him hit him. But up until that point, Sacho was about to lose his life.
It's the nice duality of the moment. I love that so much. It's like,
Yeah.
like full aggression, and then it's Sacho, no more hands.
Yeah. Put the hands down. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, that was a good episode.
It's a nice one.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, it's not a nice episode, but it's a nice episode.
Yeah. Quality episode.
Pretty strong.
Yeah. Yeah, right. That's all I have.
Damn, this is a short one. Is it
Well,
because the lack of
that one was a recap. So that's 1/6 of
Because
our...
Rakugo, there's not much we're going on.
Yeah. Although I feel like Rakugo was the show we talked about the most.
I guess that's true. Damn. It's a weird one.
Yeah. It was all good episodes, though.
I'm like kind of tangentless.
Something's missing, but I
have at
don't
least
know
something
why.
to say.
Yeah.
Is that OJ? It's drinking.
No. Do you just drink orange juice in your free time?
I actually drink mostly water, so.
You ever drink sparkling water?
Yeah.
I think it's weird. Can't do it.
It's a bit weird. I can see myself drinking it, though. But I'll say I normally don't handle carbonation well.
Regular water is just so much better.
Like carbonated drinks, when like heavy carbonated, I can't drink them.
Yeah.
Or it's like it must be something with like the taste or something. I'll have the carbonation. Because like a smoother carbonated drink, I can definitely take.
Mm.
Like a root beer, I can like drink that probably.
Or like a Sprite.
Sprite bends either way, dude.
I feel like Sprites are like 90% carbonation.
It's so weird. It's something with the flavor of them. Like I can't do Coke anymore, like for the most part.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you got help.
Orange soda, sometimes. Grape soda, I think I can do that. Pineapple soda, definitely. Root beer, I can do, I think. Sprite is like if I feel like it, I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty sure if I drink Coke, like I just hate it now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it's too sweet or anything. It's just the taste of it and the feeling it gives me. I don't know if I psyoped myself, I gaslit myself into believing that like it's bad. A different level.
You're like brainwashing yourself.
But then I drink water and I'm
that.
like, oh, it's all's right with the world. It's not like I don't drink like sugary drinks. Like I'll have like iced tea or like something with like absurd amount of sugar in it. And it's like, this is fine. I'm pretty sure it's like the carbonation or how it like tastes with that.
I mean, it's gotta be.
Mm-hmm. It's like most carbonated drinks too.
I mean, there's no like, I don't think there's any health benefits to carbonation.
Like I tried drinking kombucha. You don't understand what happened.
Yeah, didn't
Like
go well.
I felt like I was gonna be sick afterwards, even though I know that's not what actually happens with that.
What is this? What'd you put in this? Is this poisoned? Did you poison me?
It's kombucha, so it's like good for you.
Mm.
It's got like the herbs and stuff in it, and I'm like, I don't know what's in there. Like, my stomach's freaking out.
I don't like this. I don't like it, guys.
I'm pretty sure it's the carbonation. It's like, yep. But like, you seem like the guy who would like drink pilk sometimes, just to prove a point.
Me?
You would drink pilk to prove a point.
And I don't do anything to prove a point.
you would like drink pilk just to be like the stronger guy in a conversation.
I don't. It doesn't sound that bad.
Pepsi milk. I mean, like we already have like root beer, right? Like floats, right?
Yeah, root beer float. What's the difference?
So like pilk is just Pepsi milk.
Yeah.
One could say it's essentially a cream soda.
Which is good.
So like, how bad is pilk really?
I think it's one of those things where people just like hop on something, right? Where it's like, oh, pilk. Oh, pineapple on pizza. We gotta make a thing out of this. It's like, no, it's not bad. You can just eat it and it's fine.
Again, I think I've stated this before. I don't know if I said it here. Pineapple on pizza, I would never order it. But if it was on a pizza that I was gonna eat, I would not complain.
I would decline. But I wouldn't think you're like a freak for eating it. I would just say, nah, I don't want it.
Okay, so that's where you stand? Okay, so it's a good thing we can know where we stand on these things. It's good.
Yeah.
You'd be like, I'm not eating pineapple, but if you eat pineapple, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm like, yeah, I'll eat the pineapple if it's offered, but I'm never ordering pineapple on my pizza.
My thing with that is that I just don't like hot fruit. I think fruit being hot's weird. I don't like it.
That makes sense. I can see that. How would you feel with hot apple pies? Like, was this like
warm apple pie? Okay,
or is that because now it's baked in and has like the sugar on it? It's like different.
It's baked. It's like in a filling. It's different.
So like
my brain doesn't register
like
it as
just
fruit.
The raw fruit. So just the raw fruit, really. If the fruit's like changed in some way, like if there's like a pineapple tart or something.
Not to stick on pineapple because the issue isn't pineapple, but like you know how like people cook ham and they like have like the like
glazed
slices
pineapple.
of pineapple. Yeah, that I'm like I don't want it. Get it out of here. Same thing.
Right. So they have to transform it for like at least in some way for it to be like acceptable as hot for you, because then you can separate it from the fact that it's a fruit.
Yeah.
Okay. Because with like the glazed pineapple ham, it's like it's still the pineapple there. It's just hot still.
Yeah. You have to trick my brain into being like this isn't a fruit. I'm like, okay, it's not a fruit. Gotcha.
Wow, they just took the pineapple, blended it up, and put some sugar with this, and now it's perfectly fine.
Oh.
That's this is the real method now. Me making a pizzeria and then putting pineapples into the pizza sauce and blending them finely, so it just
that would just be so sweet.
You guys have like really sweet pizza sauce, but like it's good. Like what's in it? Oh, would you like to know? You want a pineapple pizza? No. All right.
I like
blow your mind real quick.
I like the idea of you being the shop owner and you being like really, really, really coy about it, and then like every single customer calls it and they're like, "Is there pineapple in here?" And you're like, "No." You're just like immediately like you're so adamant on denying it and like this is my secret recipe, but everyone knows what it is.
But then why do they keep ordering it though?
I mean, I don't know. You got me there. I don't know.
It works, dude. Well, he says it's on pineapple, so it must be true.
Do you serve pineapple on pizza at this, at this establishment? So now they have like double pineapple. Because then they're just like, they don't know what's going on.
It's just what's gotta be. I think that's legitimately a tactic that we could do. We could just pull it off. Just pineapple blended into the pizza sauce. Very subtly. Just mix it into the cheese or whatever.
I just thought of something really stupid. I was like, because like your like diabolical plan of putting pine in my mind, I was like, but we also serve like pineapple smoothies, right?
Yeah.
But in this version, it's flipped. So you blend pizza and you put it in, and just like your like evil laugh that I know you would do every time someone orders one, because it's mirrored by like, oh, here's a pizza, and like secretly you blended pineapple in the pizza, and then they're like, oh, can I also get a pineapple smoothie? And you just try to stifle your laugh because you know that there's pizza in the pineapple. Just like, is this is there is there pizza in this? And you're just like, what? No.
It's a bit pink.
So it's not yellow. It's not a pineapple color. Why does my smoothie taste just like my pizza? Why did we come here? Who recommended us this place? It just like hard cuts to you, like a montage of you in like um various outfits, like a hitman, like the hitman games. You're like wearing like different clothes, and you're just like whispering to people to go try out this new pizza place.
Just imagine like Bugs Bunny like dressing up in all these things.
Yeah.
Going around, he's like, good pizza place around here? Yeah. Should go. Mr. Buke Beely. That's good stuff. I think I'd be like, I think it's $1 million idea. I was just wondering, like, like the food inspector comes in, and he's like an Italian guy, and he's like tasting the pizza, and he knows something's wrong with it. You can't exactly like nail down what's with it. So he's like,
what is this?
He really wants to fail the pizza. He's like, something wrong with this pizza. This is like for like the Michelin star or whatever. He's like taking the note. It's like I really want to give them a no-star restaurant, but like I can't. I don't know what's the problem.
I don't know what the problem is, but this place needs to be shut down.
Everything in his body is telling him this place should not function.
I like the idea of like that man going there and him like in this having like existential crisis, and he's like, what is happening, and just like as he's trying out your pizza and stuff, like a like truck comes because it's like pineapple delivery day at your shop. And then you see it and you start sweating. Just like, no. Oh, how was
having
today?
to hide all the pineapple related stuff for like the weird pizza related stuff.
Yeah.
Like he sees you like pouring like the pizza into the blender for like the pineapple smoothie.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, I'm just blending this up. I can't eat solid food. I gotta. You know how people like blend their burgers? I gotta blend my pizza to eat. I can't really. And you just gotta commit to that bit. You're like, delicious. They're chunky. Good stuff.
Like secretly you hate it.
Yeah.
So like you like trying to take one for the team.
And like you gotta keep distracting him so they can put the pineapple sauce into the pizza to make pizza sauce. It's really like he keeps turning around to look, and then like it's like the workers are always like not there. And they're working behind. They're like stealthily hiding underneath the counter.
Mm-hmm. You're like one at a time.
This is like such a big money bit here. We could sell this to SNL, and they ruin it somehow.
And SNL would get canceled.
They would ruin it somehow, but like we would make so much money.
How would you go about selling this bit to SNL? What would step one be?
1, find someone with NBC.
1, buy a phone book. 2, look up SNL in the phone book.
3, call the number of the phone book. 4, they don't know who SNL is.
5, give them the idea anyway. 6, they call the cops.
7, I see the pizza bit on TV anyway.
Could you imagine this ending with you in jail and like you still are able to catch that episode of SNL and you're like, that was my idea. And you guys, listen, I have a podcast, okay? and we did this bit. Just like, all right, guy.
That would show everyone who like pineapple on pizza. I would really like this.
That's the strat.
That would be the nail in the coffin. You would win so all the art. It's like the perfect win argument thing. Like you're like, oh, I never heard of this restaurant, but then like it's a restaurant that's only known on the internet for putting pineapple into pizza sauce. So like they can confirm and be like, you like pineapple on pizza? Why are you lying to me? Stop being a hater.
So you like it, admit it.
That's all the restaurant exists for. I think it's a good idea. I don't know how long it could last. Probably a couple of years, but I mean, you can like
a couple years. I think it would last 2 months, and then people would say, "This is ridiculous." It'd be the only time where we would achieve world peace because the whole world would be unified against this restaurant.
I think Pokemon Go was a really good time for world peace. I don't know, man. Everyone was outside. They were happy. They were like the first summer. You know, they were all like talking to each other. They're like, "Hey, what Pokemon you catch?" I don't think I've seen a happier world until the pizza shop opens up, and then
The entire world, not only humans, animals too. Animals were all on the same side.
this man must be stopped.
All right. Hey, that's a. Like, man, the podcast got really weird at the end. I talk about pineapple. I don't understand.
Just classic fashion, you know.
All right. That's good. We're going episode 7 for everything next week. We'll actually get a full Nana episode, so that'll be great.
Can't wait to just watch episode 2 again.
I swear to God. If it happens, quitting the podcast. I just want to let you know now.
This will be re-edited on YouTube to say final, and that's how you'll know.
Final. And in parentheses, you know why.
If you know, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Rayman, for stopping by our in-house studio. And yeah, goodbye to everybody.
Yeah, bye everyone. I'll see you at the pizza shop.